It's season 3 of Sports Outta Pocket.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight?
We bring you the craziest controversies.
We got Tyreek Hill, who's fined $7,000
For not wearing socks. That is the dumbest fine I've ever seen in my life, dude.
Fire me up.
And I have to go at this Braves offense for not doing a thing in October for the second year in a row.
And the return of twin picks.
That's not even in discussion.
I think what you should do is shut up and let the judges speak. Interviews you don't want to miss.
This is the Philly Sports Guy, and you're listening to Sports Outta Pocket.
This is former MLB All-Star Justin Masterson.
Sports Outta Pocket is back and better than ever.
Let's go!
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of season 3 of Sports Outta Pocket. Now, this past weekend, man, the All-Star weekend happened, and I know, like, we're gonna get into this in the later, so I'm not gonna go too in depth with it. But yeah, just man, that All-Star game.
Are you still recovering from the dunk contest, Steven?
Dude, no, honestly, I turned it off. I turned it off in the middle of it.
You're lucky.
I couldn't deal with it anymore.
Bro, I saw Jalen Brown's dunk, and I just... He made me disappointed to be a Celtics fan.
All right, so we're going to get into that later, but before we get into that, man, I'm joined by Chase Jefferson, Andrew Jefferson, and behind the board, my man Jackson Vols. Welcome in, everybody. Glad you're tuning in. And but yeah, no, genuinely, after that Kai Cenat one, I was out the door and gone.
You know, I joined you. I did not watch the championship round because after I saw a dunk over Kai Cenat, sitting in a chair, by the way, get more points than a windmill over Shaq, I walked upstairs. That was it for me. That's all I need to see.
I just before we get into the show, I just want to shout out a team that we call the Five Stripes here in Atlanta. They're not making their debut today. That comes with Saturday. But the MLS is officially returning tonight. We got Inter Miami. We got Real Salt Lake. Lionel Messi versus Diego Luna. It's going to be a show in Miami. 8 o'clock in case you're wondering.
It's a good time of the year.
That's all I had to say.
And you know, one other thing that happened yesterday is me and Chase made our debut, broadcasting
Let's
debut.
Let's get a round of applause.
Play-by-play.
That went very well.
UWG.
Steven had an electric
It went well
call.
I'm glad me and you had great chemistry, and we had a great time doing it, but we also got blown out 17-2, so that wasn't too
Brandon
fun.
got in who?
I was talking
about Steven Lambert.
Dude.
I was talking about what happened in the booth, not on the field.
Yeah, no, it was actually so much fun. I hope I get to do it again in the future.
It was a great time.
With that being said, let's get into the show.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
We in here talking about practice.
It's time for the latest sports controversies.
Okay, so as we were just talking about at the beginning of the show, yes, the All-Star Weekend happened, and it just, for fans in general, it just didn't live up to any type of hype. The only thing that was actually good about the All-Star Weekend, in my opinion, 2 things. The three-point contest was actually really good. Trae Young had put up a great performance. Atlanta fans, they're very proud of him. I'm very proud of how Trae Young performed. You just can't beat Damian Lillard. Like, Damian Lillard's just, it's Dame time.
He was one shot away from beating Damian Lillard because Damian Lillard almost missed every single shot in the last rack. He did get the last shot to go in, but if he would have missed, they would have tied, correct?
Yeah,
and then they'd go to like an overtime showdown.
Yeah, that corner rack, he started 0 for 4 and then hit the money ball for the win. So if he would have missed, Trae Young and Dame would have tied.
He would have beaten Sabrina, too. I'm just saying. I just had to throw that out there. I'm not hating. I'm just saying. I'm spitting facts.
But yeah, so then Sabrina and Steph, actually a very good competition. Sabrina did very well. I mean, and all credit to her. They were just like, we're going to let you shoot from the WNBA line. She was like, nah, bump that. I'm shooting from the NBA. And she performed very well, tying what everybody in the three-point contest, 26, the highest score of the night.
She made her first 7 shots, and I was like,
I thought she was going to beat Curry.
Saying.
When she made her first 7 in a row, I thought Curry was going down.
Yep.
When you go against the greatest three-point shooter of all time and get that close to beating him, all credit goes to her.
No.
Wait, I thought she was going against Curry, not Trae.
Oh, that's crazy.
She doesn't.
I can't even be serious about that.
She doesn't even get to there's no reason that she needs to be disappointed in anything. She was phenomenal, and I'm hoping they get to do it again. In fact, a lot of people are saying that maybe involve Caitlin Clark in this as well.
Yes,
and get that going on, and that would be amazing.
Imagine Caitlin Clark and Sabrina versus
Steph Curry and Damian Lillard.
That would be really cool.
Or
Stephen Clay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to the bad part about the weekend, the dunk contest, and just how badly. I mean, you're talking about probably one of the worst judges and probably like just how they judge that competition. You had literally an under the leg spin around 360 dunk that got like what, a 47, but then a dunk over, like you said at the beginning, a Kai Cenat sitting down, jumping over, didn't even close his eyes. He tried to close his eyes while doing that dunk, didn't even do that correctly, and it got like a 49.
Y'all, I saw the funniest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. The morning after the dunk contest, I was scrolling through my phone and I saw a post by ESPN.
It was Shannon Sharp?
No. It was just a post by ESPN. And I kid you not, it showed the video of Blake Griffin dumping over the car, and then a video of Jaylen Brown dunking over Kai, and it said which one was better. Like it's comparable. And I was scrolling through the comments. Even Austin Rivers' comments said, y'all funny for this.
No, what's crazy is Dwight Howard's dunk when he wore the Superman cape and he blew out the cupcake. Scored less than Jaylen Brown's dunk.
No way.
And it got.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it got so bad that the entire night the fans were booing the judges because they were scared to give low scores, which made it worse in the dunk contest.
There is
especially
one person
after
to blame.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but just like that Mac McClung where he literally took his hands off the ball, brought it back, and did a reverse.
Nice.
That got 46.
And
Jaylen Brown took over Kai Cenat. That's insane.
They bring Mac McClung out like he's a circus animal. Like
he makes compared to everyone else that's out there. I'd rather watch
honestly,
it over and over again.
This is the thing about this, and then a lot of people actually commented this. The dunk contest now, it's so hard to be original when it comes to bringing in new dunks and bringing in new objects and everything. So it's just like, is it just outplayed now?
Slowly
like the dunk
fading.
contest now might not be the thing that you're looking forward to in All-Star game anymore.
And I mean, and I was actually scrolling through Instagram again, and it was showing highlights of the college basketball dunk contest. And it's so much better than what we've seen from the NBA in years since the Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine dunk contest. And Steven, I think you might be right, because if you look at like what's happened in the past, the Vince Carter dunks, the Dwight Howard dunks, what Blake Griffin did, what's left? Like, what else can you do?
Speaking of the Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon dunk contest, there is one person to blame for this.
LeBron James?
Dwayne
Wade.
Dwayne Wade for not giving Aaron Gordon that extra point. Aaron Gordon should have won that.
Aaron Gordon should have won.
Aaron Gordon should have won that.
I'm with Zach. Jackson, you were actually 100% correct on that. There's no way Aaron Gordon shouldn't. Like, both contests, he should have won it. Dude, when you have an under the leg over the mascot
and you spinning around.
Bro, that is still, in my opinion, one of the best, probably the best dunk in dunk contest history. Yeah. It was nuts.
Even better than Michael Jordan's dunk from the free throw line.
Which I will say, that's what won Zach LaVine the dunk contest, because he dunked from the free throw line.
We've seen it before. What Aaron Gordon did with the mascot, we have never seen.
I'm
not disagreeing with you.
Now, actually, real quick, because we're going to have 1 minute left, we got to talk about the Justin Fields situation.
Oh, yeah.
And Andrew, you got that.
I was going to say, I got some quotes pulled up that Justin Fields stated about that.
I love quotes.
Because, listen, so, like you said, like Justin Fields, obviously, during the offseason, there's a lot of noise around him for good reason, especially him possibly coming to the A-Town. But Justin Fields, after people started going crazy because he unfollowed Chicago on Instagram and he started following players like Drake London, Bijan Robinson, people are like, oh my gosh, it's confirmed. He's coming to the A. And Justin Fields started laughing because of how much people take social media so serious. He was like, this is what he said. He said on some kind of sports show, can't quite remember what it was, but he said, like, I still mess with the Bears, this and that. I'm just trying to take a little break. I unfollowed the Bears and the NFL. I'm just not trying to have football on my mind right now, which is fair. And he even compared it to, like, he said, this was kind of a weird quote, but he said, just because you don't follow the girl on IG don't mean you're not messing with her. And I was like, I mean, I don't know if he's trying to touch on other issues that I could care less about, but I do like his point when he said that I'm just trying to take a break. Because, I mean, that's what he said. I'm just quoting Justin Fields. I don't know what he meant by that, but that's all I'm saying. Like, let the man be him. Like, everyone deserves a little mental break.
I'm just gonna let this play out. I'm hoping for, like, Atlanta just really needs to make the right decision when it comes to the quarterback this offseason, whether it comes to getting in the draft. And I don't know if you're gonna find somebody that's as good as Justin Fields in that draft after the first 3 quarterbacks are going to be taken off the board. So, Falcons, like, make it happen.
I'm not opposed to it. Or Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I would say Kirk Cousins I would be happy with too.
All right. Twins. Let's get debating.
2 brothers.
Same birthday.
completely different takes.
Oh, boy! Yes!
It's time for Twin Picks.
All right, so the last debate, Chase took the victory in the first Twin Picks of Season 3 and continuing the hot momentum that he had from last season being the winner, and Chase is looking to defend his title. But it's a new challenge, it's a new day. Andrew's looking for some revenge, he's looking to get the win back. Twins, what are we going to be talking about?
What we're going to be talking about today, Stevie Boy and Jack Snack, we are going to be talking about MVPs for the upcoming baseball season. We all know you got your NL, we all know you got your AL, but we're going to combine the two. Chase representing the American League, I'll be representing the National League. So basically what's going on is I'm going to pick my MVP favorite from the NL, he's going to pick his MVP favorite from the AL, and y'all are going to have to decide which of those two players has the better odds of taking the MVP crown. Chase, you did go first last time we did this. Do you want to go first again? This time it doesn't really matter.
I'm 3-1. I'll go ahead and get my point out of the way, so so everybody can tune out once we get to you.
Too bad, because I'm going first. All right, guys, for Twin Picks, my NL MVP favorite. Some people might call this a long shot because he finished 14th in the voting last year, but this year he's got all the room in the world to make that jump. I'm talking about Fernando Tatis Jr. Now, hear me out. You got your Acuna. Now, the reason I didn't pick Acuna is because I feel like that's basic. I got to make a reach out there. Okay. Love you, Acuna. I could have gone Mookie Betts. I could have gone Freddie Freeman. But let me tell you why Fernando's going to take that MVP crown.
Because he's on steroids again?
So, let's take a look back. After the 2022 season, it was a very thunderous season for Tatis. He got, 2022 season went by. We all know what happened there with the whole suspension. Y'all can whine about that all you want. But he got back on the field in 2023. And I'm going to admit, it was an above average season. It wasn't his best. It wasn't his peak. He posted a 113 OPS. But he did flirt with a 30-30 season. That's the point I was trying to make. Though it was just a mere above-average season, he still flirted with a 30-30 season with 25 home runs and 29 stolen bases. And that wasn't even at his peak. And his shit from shortstop to right field, I have to admit, might make it a little bit tougher for him to win MVP. But I'm going to make this statement live on air. Look at me when I'm talking to you. I'm making this statement live on air. He is the best defensive outfielder in all of baseball right now. Listen.
Yo.
Yes.
Did he just say Fernando?
He just made this easy for me.
Listen, Fernando is better as a better defensive outfielder than Julio Rodriguez. Get out my face. Then Corbin Carroll. Get out my face. Kyle Tucker. Where are I going? Kyle Tucker. Aaron Judge, get out my face. Juan Soto, Juan who? Get out my face. Jordan Alvarez.
Is he better than Acuna?
Not Acuna. Juan Alvarez, get out my face. Get out my space, because I need Tatis right here with me, okay? All right. Yes, Tatis heads into the 2024 season at the age of 25. That means he is likely to have his peak, his potential, because guess who's not in San Diego anymore? Juan Soto is with them dang Yankees. This is Tatis' team now. And hold on, y'all are giving me these stupid looks, but let's not pretend we don't know what he's capable of. We saw what he did in 2021, right? Right? Anyone know what he did in 2021? Anyone?
Yes.
Anyone? He almost had a 50 home run season. He was the cover athlete for MLB The Show for a reason. I love you, Tatis.
Okay. Just to let you know, I am going to clip this, post it on my on-air, and at Fernando Tatis
Chase,
Jr. after this.
Who's your athlete?
He just made this job a lot easier for me.
Unless you say something dumber than
that. No.
There's a computer.
I was with you. I was with him for the
Chase. Yeah.
There is one player that you kept naming over and over again that is no longer on the Padres, and I'm glad you said his name. Your AL MVP will be Juan Soto.
No way.
And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Okay, so last season, his batting average was a little low at 275, but he did have 35 home runs and 109 RBIs. He's a 3-time All-Star in his young career. He had a fantastic 2020 and 21 season with the Nationals, and he accomplished something in 2 seasons that Bryce Harper couldn't accomplish in 8, and that was bringing the Nationals a World Series title. He finished 6th in the MVP voting last season and 2nd in 2021. He's finished top 10 in the MVP votings 4 of his seasons of his young career. But this is the main point that I want to mention. He is in his last season of team control and arbitration, which he's predicted to get $33 million.
He's saying bigger words.
No, listen. If he's able to lift the Yankees back to the postseason and give them this championship run that them New Yorkers are thirsty for, because the Mets sure ain't bringing it.
He's gonna compete with Aaron Judge.
But listen, if he's if he's able to do that, he is getting bank next season, and you best believe.
What's next season? We're talking about this year.
But
who cares how much he's making?
You best believe that's on his mind. If he's able to get the MVP, get the Yankees to the postseason, make that championship run, that's on his mind to get
bank.
What
about the Padres though? You're acting like the Padres can't make a playoff push like the Yankees, and it's gonna have to come through the veins of Fernando. That's what this is all about. Juan Soto doesn't have to rely on himself to make that playoff push. Fernando has to be at his peak.
Hey, listen. Do you remember when I said that he finished 2nd in MVP voting in 2021?
So what?
Guess who was in front of him? Your favorite player. This is for you, Andrew. Shohei Ohtani. Now, Ohtani is no longer in the American League. He's not down. Soto's back anymore. He's a lone man in LA.
Julio Rodriguez has a higher odd to win the
NL MVP race is so much tighter.
Garcia, Jordan Alvarez,
Tatis.
Jordan Alvarez. I'll put Kyle Tucker up there. Those are 4 players that I would have winning MVP over
All Tatis does is shove a needle in his arm and hit bombs. Soto doesn't have to do that.
That has nothing to do with it.
He's a short team.
You're bringing up things that don't even matter.
All right. Let's bring it down. Go
first.
All right, so, man, I have to go first?
You go first.
Man, all right.
I can't contain myself.
Andrew, I'm not going to lie, dude. You actually had me when it came to the Tatis argument.
Yeah.
But then, I feel like you went overboard.
I got excessive.
You went overboard. You went overboard by telling me that Tatis was going to be a top outfielder in the National League.
Defensive outfielder.
A top defensive national, like a top defensive outfield, like an outfielder in general. To defensively outfielder.
His physicality is ridiculous, though. Like his ball tracking,
I agree.
his speed.
I understand. I get you. But dude, you've got Acuna. You've got.
I didn't say Acuna though.
You've got Corbin Carroll. You have.
But he said Julio Rodriguez, who's a much better defender.
No, Tatis is a better defender.
And that was all right. So as far as who I think has a better shot in their league, man, it's actually kind of tough because here's the thing with the National League now. Shohei Ohtani's in there, Freddie Freeman's in there, Mookie Betts, Acuna. It's a lot tougher for Tatis. Tatis has a lot bigger hill to climb when it comes to that NL MVP compared to Juan Soto.
I wouldn't necessarily say that though.
Compared to Juan Soto, who has Aaron Judge, Jordan Alvarez, there's a challenge there, but just compared to the challenge, I have to go with Chase for this debate. It's just a less argument when it comes to a less hill to climb.
Y'all got to think about the potential, the ceiling for Tatis right now.
Jackson, who you got?
That he is the San Diego Padres.
He's not capable of carry like Soto can.
49 home runs in his second year in the majors. What are you talking about?
Andrew.
Or it may have been 47.
So I did bring this topic up last episode. Ohtani is now in the National League. You had me at the beginning with Tatis.
He's not on the mound. He's not on the mound. That's going to deduct his MVP levels.
He still has a lot more hoops to jump through.
I know that. I'm talking about Tatis being, he will be a top outfielder. He won't be a top defensive outfielder.
He is. Everyone recognizes him as a top defensive outfielder.
But
for a reason.
Not over the players you named.
Shout out to 2 members of Triple Threat in the control room, John and Jason, right now. It is a sweep. I'm going Mr. Chase Jefferson for the win of Twin Peaks.
What's my record? It's 4-1, bud. It's 4-1.
You're getting distracted by who's on the Dodger team. You're forgetting how baseball works. When you load a lineup.
All right. Now, technically, it's not official. We haven't panned over to them yet. So let's just go ahead. Christian's going to pan over to the window. Who do y'all pick to win this Twin Picks? Mr. Chase Jefferson is a complete sweep. I'm sorry, Chase. I'm sorry, Chase.
You mean Andrew?
Majority rules.
You mean
It's
Andrew?
a sweep.
Okay,
Mr. Chase Andrew.
Hold on. I feel like that. Let me get my moment. I feel like live on air, because every one of y'all are so blind over who's in the National League compared to the American League. I feel like there needs to be a punishment for every single one in this room.
Okay.
If Fernando finishes higher in the MVP rankings than Juan Soto.
What do you want me to do?
I feel like,
What
because
do you want me
y'all
to
are
do?
blind.
Hey, what do you want me to do?
Y'all aren't thinking about individual stats and players. Y'all are thinking about who they have to climb over. That's not how baseball works. You have a good season.
You
have a
forget
good
Bryce
season.
Harper's also in the National League.
This year is
Machado
way much
is on
harder
his
than
team.
Tatis. Soto's ceiling this season is so much higher than Tatis.
But it doesn't matter.
All right. We have to go
That's
to a
not how
quick.
baseball
We're gonna
works.
have to go into a quick break. When we come back, we are gonna be talking about our new segment, This or That, and also time for some lottery.
What's going on? This is Chase, and you are listening to Sports Out of Pocket.
Let's it go.
Only on the Wolf Sports Network.
There is not a lot of quarterbacks I'm taking over Jordan Love. He is him.
I don't care. I'm still taking Jalen Hurts over Jordan Love.
You can't be serious.
You need to leave.
It's time for this or that.
Man, it is heated right now in the studio.
I can't believe this.
Andrew is feeling some type of way. Hey, man, I'm going to need you to bring that energy when it comes to the fire me up because, absolutely.
I might be breaking something.
Hey, it's all good. Andrew, you still got a shot, man. It's we still got the whole season to get your get back.
There's a lot of time.
You're right.
All right. So, what happened here? There we go. All right, so this is our new segment, This or That, and Christian, this is all your little brain master here, the little brain worm that you got cooking. So tell us, how does this or that work?
So we're gonna play This or That again, and honestly, I like that we can vary it in so many different ways to fit how we're feeling or a debate or something that we have. I know it's tough, but you got to fight through it, and you can't redeem yourself today, right now, on This or That. Right now, we will be playing This or it's basically This or That or Would You Rather Freddie Freeman edition. So what we'll do is we'll play it in the King of the Court style. We will go down the line and we'll see who is the last man standing.
All right, so just to be clear, is it just any player in the Major League Baseball that we would take over Freddie Freeman?
Anybody in the Major League Baseball. I got a list.
Current or like?
It's current. It is
current,
or at least in the last 3 or 4 years.
That's fine. That's
Okay.
what I need to know.
So I do have a list. So we have Freddie Freeman, and right now I'm kicking off really strong, or Matt Olson.
Over Freddie?
Well, which one are you taking?
Oh, I'm taking Freddie Freeman. I love Matt Olson, but on base percentage, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm taking Freddie.
I feel like when you're talking about because people might say, hey, Matt Olson led the league in home runs and RBIs last year, which is very true. But Freddie Freeman, his home run and RBI numbers are still ridiculous, and his batting average is something that you don't see from not just from a first baseman standpoint, but from just anybody in the league. Freddie Freeman has the ability to get on base whether it's going out of the park or not, and that's the thing that just makes Freeman just so ridiculous. And his defense, come on now.
So I will just say, as far as what people are saying, the majority rule online is actually Matt Olson. People said he's a better defender, Gold Glover with more homers, he's younger, and a better fielder at first base.
I wouldn't say better fielder.
I think Freeman's a better fielder, but like I said, I'm not going to sit here and argue too much because I see where you're coming from. There's points to be made on both sides. I just gotta stick with my boy Freeman, like Steven said. I just can't Freeman.
Okay, so Freeman stays on. That's
yes.
All agreement? Okay, perfect. Freeman or Paul Goldschmidt?
Paul Goldschmidt. Nah, if I'm being honest, as a Cardinals fan, Freddie Freeman.
It's going to be tough to if you're just going strictly first baseman. I don't know if there's going to be any first baseman that's going to be over Freddie. I'm just going to let you know that right now.
That's true. Okay. That's very true. I could see,
especially over Matt Olson. There is one person, one first baseman that's an argument.
Bryce Harper.
Okay, don't say it.
I mean,
don't say
it. It's not just first baseman. Okay. Freddie Freeman or Jose, I think it's Abreu.
Jose Abreu? No. Yeah, no, definitely not over Freddie Freeman. Not even close.
No, he is a top five first baseman in my opinion.
Abreu?
Yes. Currently, yes. I put him at 4 or 5. But like I said, if we're talking, I think Freddie Freeman is still the best first baseman in baseball currently right now.
Okay, let's heat it up. Freddie Freeman or Aaron Judge?
Here we go. Now here's where the argument starts. This is a tough one. And honestly, it hurts my soul because he's in a Yankees uniform. Man, I think I'm going Aaron.
Okay, Aaron, we got Aaron.
Me, personally, I'm saying if Aaron Judge didn't get... Aaron Judge is injury-prone, but he was on track to hit 50 homers. He was on track to beat Shohei Ohtani for that AL MVP before he got injured. So Freddie Freeman is a great player. In my opinion, he's the best first baseman in baseball right now. I got to go Aaron Judge.
Okay.
Aaron Judge would have been one of my picks.
It hurts my soul. It genuinely, that
Andrew,
hurt me.
If I'm saying, if he said Aaron Judge, he still would have been a clean sweep.
No, absolutely not. Now we're not. That's segment's over. I'm gonna have to agree with you guys. Listen, Freddie Freeman again. If we're talking about strictly first basemen, Freddie Freeman all the way. But Aaron Judge is he's a big highlighted player in the American League for a reason, especially because of the power he has at the plate. And even in a shortened season, he still managed to climb the ranks in total home runs. And I think Aaron Judge is going to go on another potential 60 home run season tear.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Judge over Freddie Freeman.
And I actually agree. It's a complete sweep. Aaron Judge is on the board. Okay, Aaron Judge or Luis Arias?
Luis Arias?
Luis Arias. So Aaron Judge takes it over Luis Arias. Luis Arias, great hitter. In my opinion, a top 5 hit. Just for strictly hitting wise, not power-wise. hitting wise, Luis
Top five.
Arias is up there because the man had like a 400 average going through the All-Star break,
That's
and
true.
that's something insane, especially when we're talking about nowadays. But overall, playing wise, Aaron Judge takes the cake.
Even as a Braves fan, I have to say, Luis Arias, he's an amazing player. Like Steven said, there was a moment in the season, I think it was that All-Star break, where people were like, he could potentially finish the season with a 400 batting average, which is even hard to comprehend. But it's gonna have to be Aaron Judge, clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, understandable. And I actually went with his teammate as well, Vladimir.
Vlad or
Aaron Judge.
All right, can I make y'all mad again real quick? Because I know it's going to make y'all upset. I was thinking about if on that Twin Pick segment, if Chase and I had to switch places, the American League one for me would have been Vlad over Aaron Judge, and Juan Soto. I think Vlad Guerrero Jr. is going to make a case for MVP in the AL now that, especially since Ohtani's gone and Trout, he's been out of the picture for a long time. I hate to say it. I'm going to go Vlad. I'm sorry. I'm going to go Vlad.
Over Aaron Judge?
I think he has more to his game than Aaron Judge. I really do. I think if we're talking about strictly power, sure, Aaron Judge. But Vlad Guerrero Jr., I think he has a better on-base percentage, and I just think that he's due for a breakout season.
See, this is where Aaron Judge is my AL MVP this year. Like when we're talking, like I said, Jose Altuve earlier, but that was me just like completely forgetting that Aaron Judge exists for the Yankees.
Sure.
So I mean, Aaron Judge I have to pick him.
I may be the only one to pick Vlad. That's just my personal pick.
Hold on. Vlad Jr. has stepped up his fielding. He has, and before last season, he was up there with Ohtani power-wise, like 48 homers and stuff.
Right.
But Aaron Judge, he was on a tear for 60 homers, man. This is actually the closest one I had to choose between, but I gotta go Aaron Judge.
But here's my thing.
I gotta go Aaron Judge.
Another thing that I didn't
It's
even
close.
say, but I gotta take into consideration is Aaron Judge might not have a full healthy season again, and that may tank him down a little bit. Now, if we're talking about overall better players, I guess that doesn't really matter. But if we're talking about MVPs, I think we gotta take that into consideration. How many games is Judge gonna play this year?
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It's tough. I think I want to side with you and go Vladimir.
Welcome to the
So
club.
if we have a tiebreaker,
Chase, point at me if it's Vlad.
are
Point
we
at Christian if you're going Aaron Judge. Oh, Canada is wanting you.
Okay, go Aaron Judge.
Aaron
Judge.
stays on.
Aaron Judge. All right, so this is going to be the last one, and then we have to move on to lottery.
Well, we'll switch down the line. To
When did that
to the
get on
last
there?
one. I don't know. But, okay, the last one is Aaron Judge or Robert Acuna Jr.
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Okay, there you go.
Ronald Acuna Jr. is a top 2 player in baseball.
Acuna is the best player in the MLB right now.
Yes.
Hands down.
Yes.
gonna have to
because
go-
Ohtani is straight up a DH. It's Ronald Acuna.
Yes.
It's not even close.
Ohtani was-
First 40-70 season ever in Major League Baseball history.
Even with extended bases, that's a stat line we're not going to see for decades.
Yeah, Jackson, who are you picking?
Acuna. Yeah.
I
I
gotta
can't
say,
go Aaron Judge.
if Ohtani was on the mound, I would pick Ohtani.
But if
it's
Aaron
Acuna.
Judge has
So,
a
quick
really
question.
good season,
As
healthy
Braves
season.
fans, if you could take one person off of the list to come to your team and side with the players that you have now, who are you taking to win it all?
So as far as somebody that we've mentioned throughout it's Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge.
It's Aaron. I would love to have Aaron Judge. Are you kidding me? Aaron Judge, Michael Harris, Ronald Acuna as an outfield?
Over Freddie Freeman, though?
Brother, yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
because
Honestly.
Matt Olson fills that gap that Freddie Freeman left. Put Aaron Judge in that outfield,
Yes.
and all of a sudden, 1 through 9 in that lineup might be one of the best lineups in baseball history.
I'm just saying, as a Cardinals fan, we need outfield. Our best outfielder is probably Jordan Walker. He's due for a breakout season. But yeah, Aaron Judge, or since they're Braves fans, probably Acuna. It would have to be Aaron Judge or Acuna.
Put them both out there. You don't
Put
have to
them both
decide
out there.
between the two.
Put them both out there. Man, put them both out there. Mosaic, make a trade. Something.
that's
Still
I
gonna be
don't know.
trash.
But all right, let's move it on to some lottery.
Okay.
With the first pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select
This is the lottery.
All right, so obviously with the lottery, we talk about players that we're high on or low on, some players that haven't really been proven yet, or just are like some young players that have just started in the league. Now, here's something a little differently. The draft is coming up in April, and we always speculate when it comes to which players would fit into which team, or which player's going to be great when they go actually get into the league. Oh, yeah. I mean, we've seen players that we've been so high on from college, somebody like a Bryce Young, and we're thinking, oh, he's going to perform well with the Carolina Panthers. And then what happens when he gets to the Carolina Panthers? Not too great. Not too great. And no, it's not his fault. But at the same time, has he been proven himself yet? Not yet. Not quite yet. Somebody who has proven himself was somebody that thought it was about the same talent-wise.
Stroudy.
Mr. C.J. Stroud. So, okay, that being said, this draft pool, I want to know your guys' opinion on who do you think you're high on or low on when it comes to getting drafted by their team, and who do you think is going to succeed in the National Football League while getting drafted. Now, I'm going to start this off, and let's just go ahead and let's get the easy one out of the way. Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams has the talent to just be great in any league that he's put into. Any team that he's being put with, he's going to be great. Now, here's the thing about his rookie season, though. He's getting put with the Chicago Bears. I mean, just somebody with a talent-wise is Justin Fields. He's doing the best that he can, but he can't succeed with Chicago right now.
If he
so Chicago's still a few pieces away from succeeding no matter which quarterback they get. They can go out and they can get like a Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson. It doesn't matter. Chicago's going to be tough, so it's going to be tough for Caleb Williams to succeed in his first year, but give it 3 years, I'm really high on Caleb Williams.
And well, let's not act like that this is the exact same thing as a Bryce Young and Carolina Panthers, because it's still night and day better than what Bryce Young is dealing with.
Got a great receiving core.
Chase Claypool and DJ Moore. I mean, that's not the worst duo I've ever seen. And the O-line is obviously a rough spot, but that's something that can evolve. Maybe they get some pieces in the offseason, get some pieces late in the draft. You never know. The thing about Caleb Williams is, though, the mobility and the arm accuracy he has is the closest thing we've seen to Patrick Mahomes coming out of the draft. Okay. And it takes a player like Patrick Mahomes to just change the culture in Chicago. I think if the Bears passed up on Caleb Williams, they've busted the whole draft. I don't care who they get.
If they take Drake May over Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams, that's the worst mistake that Chicago can ever make.
Caleb Williams, you don't pass up on him for anything.
Oh, I'll be happy, though. I'll be really happy if they do that. That's a Chicago
coming from a Packers fan.
Absolutely, yeah, I get it.
As far as me personally, I have the amazing Brendan Willoughby Ray's draft pulled up right here.
Go check it out on the website.
Remember, check it out on the website. He has a great draft. I just want to mention really quickly that Chicago picked again at 9. Okay. And though he has them predicted to take an edge, there is a tackle, a really good tackle out of Penn State that I cannot pronounce his name, but it is one of the best tackles in the draft. I can see Chicago addressing their offensive line, I don't even know what to call it, massacre early in the draft by taking an offensive lineman really high. But I am also extremely high on Caleb Williams. I love what he's doing. I love the way he's playing. He looks like Mahomes, and honestly, that's a little scary. Being a Packers fan, I'm not going to lie to you. But someone else that I'm extremely high on, Marvin Harrison Jr. I love the way he's playing, his speed, the way that he can moss people. Man, this route running is really nice. This deep route running, which is a lot of times taken for granted how he can get open like that.
I'm telling you, Marvin Harrison Jr. also has the pressures of living up to his dad's legacy as well in the NFL.
Where do you have, since you said you were also going to be high on Marvin Harrison, where do you and Christian, Steven, you can give your input, obviously. Where do y'all have him going?
3 or 4.
Back to the Cardinals?
Yeah,
fourth overall.
Probably 3 to the Patriots.
Because the first three picks it's going to be quarterback. It's going to be Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Now, would y'all be surprised? Because I have seen some noise around this possibility that the Commanders stick it out with Sam Howell and give him a player like Marvin Harrison. Would that totally surprise y'all?
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm Chicago, I sell my soul and I trade up and I bring Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. in at the same time.
Nah, that's crazy.
You're trying to pull a Houston Texans?
I'm trying to pull. What was that? What was the draft day movie where he went and he pulled? And
where Kevin Costner just pulled off all that stuff for the Cleveland Browns.
Ray Jennings, shout out to Arian Foster if you're listening.
Yeah, really turned out well for him too. Really turned out. Okay, but here's another person that I feel like is being overlooked, and this is coming biased because I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan. Brock Bowers. Okay. Listen, I think whoever gets Brock Bowers in this draft is getting a monster when it comes to being a receiver, because we're not talking about just a tight end. Yes, he's the best tight end that's coming out of this draft, but we were talking about a potential, you can move him to wide receiver, and he can still just be as much of a dog as he already is. So if you get Brock Bowers in this draft, and for how low that they're projecting him to go, we're talking about 15, the Tennessee Titans. or like whichever the Tennessee Titans. When do they pick?
The Colts are 15. The Titans,
Colts. That's who. Some people have him going to the Colts at 15th pick.
I still think Brock Bowers goes 5 to the Chargers.
Ooh,
You think him going 5 overall?
I could see it.
That's a lot of. That's way higher than I've seen in a lot of other mock drafts.
I'm saying he's like the highest touted tight end prospect heading into draft since Kyle Pitts.
What would you make his NFL comparison to be though? That's the real question.
Jason Witt.
Travis Kelce. I mean, honestly.
Yes, that's perfect.
Kelce,
that's a
yeah.
perfect comparison.
Travis without the Taylor.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Physically, he's not exactly a Travis Kelce, but the way that he runs his routes is so crisp and he gets open. It reminds me of Hunter Renfrow a couple of years ago, the way that he would be able to use his agile speed laterally across the field. It's very impressive, I would say.
What about 12 to the Denver Broncos? Because that's where I had him landing on my mock draft.
I could see it, but my whole issue is everything with Russ is such a toss-up in the air that you can't really trade and build around them when you don't know exactly everything that you need just yet. That's my whole thing.
Fair.
We don't know how Jerry Judy's going to play. We don't know. The offensive line was atrocious. We just don't know.
All right. Now, we're going to go into a quick break. When we come back, we had a little debate going on over this week when it comes to certain Nolan Arenado and one of the greatest Braves players of all time, probably one could arguably the greatest, Chipper Jones. And is Nolan Arenado at the end of his career going to be a better third baseman than Chipper Jones? Well, you're going to find out when we come back.
Hey everybody, this is Steven.
Going back, Kane at the wall. That is goal!
And you are listening to Sports Outta Pocket.
am having a very bad day. I am in no mood. This is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
Fire me up. Ooh,
Meditating over there, huh?
I have to bring my heartbeat down, or else I might genuinely break the speakers when it comes to how loud my voice can get when it comes to this debate. Because when I heard the blasphemy that came through the group chat, when I heard that what Jackson believes, that Nolan Arenado at the end of his career is going to be better than Chipper Jones.
Everyone turn your mics down right now.
Crazy Train, Mr. Best switch hitter, what top 5 switch hitter of all time, 300 from both sides. Nolan Arenado is going to be better than Chipper Jones at the end of his career. Tell me, in your warped mind, in your really warped mind that you have, Mr. Jackson Falls, do you believe that is the case?
Hold on, before you say anything, I offer you $2 right now to just shut up and say nothing so you don't embarrass yourself.
Hey,
$2?
You think it was bad what he was saying in the group chat? You got to hear what it was like hearing this in person. My ears were bleeding.
Missed
Me
opportunity.
and Andrew had to get up from the lunch table and walk away from
We had
this
to
man.
cradle each other because we were so scared of what just came out
Jackson,
of
you
his
have the
mouth.
mic. I'm genuinely interested to hear what you got to say.
Screw your $2. Nolan Arenado. Let's see. Hold up. He's played 11 years? Besides his rookie year. 10-time Gold Glove, 8-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger. He is one of the best third basemen to play in that hot corner. 325 homers. All he has to do is average like 17 to 18 homers for the rest of his career. Will he do that? I am not 100% sure.
How long does he have left?
Like, Chipper Jones played like 1920
But
seasons.
Chipper Jones played about 2,500 games, 2,500 games.
Can he match what Chipper did at his old age? Is not because
he has 1,000 games left to match up with Chipper Jones.
Jackson, does Arenado have what it takes to play at an older age like Chipper did?
Yes.
Because right now Arenado can't even stay healthy. So how can you say that?
So you think Nolan's gonna last about 7 to 8 more seasons at the same caliber as Chipper Jones?
This is Nolan Arenado's only injured season. His only injured season. And also take into account the 2020 season as well.
It was a rough injury.
But he's back for opening day.
I know, but this is an injury.
Nolan Arenado is batting.
This is an injury that could easily reappear. Is all I'm saying.
Go ahead, Steven.
So we're talking about this is why this just makes no sense to where it's incomparable. Only because listen, Chipper Jones did something that not like only Mickey Mantle. And like maybe, can you name another switch hitter that was as good as Chipper Jones in Major League career?
Batting over 300?
Talking about 300 from both sides of the plate. He batted from left side, he batted from the right side, and he was 300 from both sides. He also 1,600 RBIs in his career. Nolan Arenado just above 1,000, not going to be able to reach that. 468 home runs compared to 325. I don't think Nolan Arenado is going to be able to reach that. An MVP in 1999. Nolan Arenado probably not going to win an MVP in the rest of his career.
No.
All I'm telling you is that Nolan Arenado going to be a great third baseman, going to be top 5, maybe even. I'm sorry, he's going to be top 10, maybe even top 5. But I do not believe that at the end of his career, Nolan Arenado is going to be able to reach the stats that Chipper Jones has. It's just not possible.
There's only about 3 or 4 third basemen in history that you can put over Chipper Jones.
Hold on.
He's doing the math about how many home runs he has to average to reach Chipper Jones.
He just typed this into ChatGPT.
Yes. Chipper Jones probably will have a better batting average than Nolan
Arenado. It's not even close.
If we're looking at it,
it's definitely.
All Arenado has to do,
all he has to do
is average 14 homers a season and 67 RBIs.
But Jackson, you're making those numbers sound easy, but you're not considering that that's going to take him another 7 to 8 seasons. Yeah. He may not have any of that left in the tank. And even if he does, there's no guarantee he stays healthy. There's no guarantee that he even wants to play for that long. And if you want to put defensive accolades into that, it takes extreme athleticism that I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Chipper Jones would have had that same athleticism that Nolan has. That puts more... That wears your body down way quicker than a switch hitter who just dominates at the plate. So given that alone, Nolan is not going to play 2,000 plus games like Chipper Jones did. He has a limited window, buddy. You can say 14 home runs all you want. That's going to take him 8 seasons to do. He doesn't have 8 seasons left in the tank. So increase those numbers, buddy. I know you don't count that high, but you're going to need to.
I think he does. This is his only injury season.
Do you know what the injury was?
Every other season.
Do you know what the injury was?
Hey, two things for you. You can say how good Arenado is defensively because he is one of the best defensive.
You're saying he's not good offensively?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But he's not able to match what Chipper did offensively. Batting 300 on both sides of the plate is unthinkable. Even for today's game, it's unimaginable.
He was able to be successful when it came to lefties, when it came to righties on both sides of the plate. He also was able to have 468 home runs when also batting over 300 for his career. Nolan Arenado, his average, 286. That is 16 points behind where Chipper Jones batted for his career. Do you think Nolan Arenado's going to be able to get over 300 by the end of his career? No, not a chance.
Buffering.
14.
Hold on. I also find
302 is 2268. That is 16 points.
If we're talking about average, Mike Schmidt had a lower batting average than Chipper Jones at the end of his career.
Because he focused on power. Chipper Jones.
You decided to bring a batting
There were
average?
seasons where he focused on power. There were seasons that he focused on hitting. Ask any interview. He could have batted over 500 home runs, but there was a season where he hit 400 to the All-Star break because he focused on hitting.
Especially towards the end of his career, he became more of a contact hitter, which is fine because he went by older age. He didn't have the power that he used to, but he's still, like he said, batting over 400 near All-Star break. Even for today's game, that's unimaginable.
Can we also agree that, let's be honest, you're talking about a guy, Nolan, who spent most of his career in Colorado. If Chipper Jones played in Colorado, he'd be way over 500 home runs because of that altitude. It's honestly kind of embarrassing that players like Nolan Arenado doesn't hit it out of the park more often, given where he plays. And you also have to put in post-season.
He averaged 35 homers a season in Colorado.
No, but that's what
we're talking about. The fact that he did all that and he's still 100-plus home runs away from Chipper Jones with a lesser window than Chipper had. It's embarrassing.
That's the point he's trying to make. And you have to understand, when it comes to better career, you have to look at what they accomplished.
Postseason as well.
Arenado is not getting that MVP. That's out the window. And yes, he has 10 gold gloves, but something that's not on his glorious bookshelf, that is the most valuable award a player can get, is the MVP. And that matters when it comes to who's better.
This is not me. Listen, I want to make this very clear. This is not me downing. This is not me. Chase and Andrew love Nolan Arenado as a player. In my opinion, still a top 20 player in baseball. It's on the fence.
You can make the debate. It's up for debate.
There's a debate about it. He's the best defensive third baseman that I've probably ever seen in baseball history. It's insane. Wonderful. 10 straight gold gloves. He's an incredible player, but guess what? When it comes to when his opportunity to make it to the Hall of Fame, do you think he's going to be first ballot? Because I don't.
No.
Guess who was first ballot? 97 percentile. Everybody believed he was a Hall of Famer by the end of his career, and he had the same amount of percentile that only Ken Griffey had in the past.
That's
how great he was.
That's two players.
Now, Jackson, here's what you got to realize. Jackson, I need your attention, man.
Oh, and I'm here.
He's telling ChatGPT to help me out.
Okay,
I'm drowning over here.
You posted for your on-air account followers to see. Will Nolan Arenado be better than Chipper Jones by his career? And 60% said no. But something that just baffles me, every time you look at that 60% no, you say, oh, they're Braves fans. It's biased. It's not biased.
You can Steven.
Jackson Schrader, shout out to you that said
that
Schrader voted too early.
Jackson, go to St. Louis and you are not going to find 90%. You can ask 100 people. You can ask 100 people in St. Louis, will Arenado be better than Chipper Jones?
Ask an MLB analyst. If you can actually drive up to MLB Network and ask them about, do you think that Nolan Arenado's going to be better than Chipper Jones by the end of his career? Everybody's going to be like, you're out of your mind. And by the way, you say the Georgia Southwestern coach that you asked yesterday, just off the cuff, he even thought about it for a minute, and then he said Chipper Jones. Ask anybody that's a Major League Baseball fan, and just how great Chipper Jones was in his career. Nobody's going to think that. Nobody's even going to
I guarantee you. Go to St. Louis, you ask 100 people, I guarantee you might get 10 that might say that, yes, Arenado might be better, but those would be your biased fans. 90% of them, I guarantee, will say Chipper. Guarantee.
And again, you want to bring up the biased fan argument. You wouldn't even be having this argument if Nolan Arenado did not play with the Cardinals.
You wouldn't. You're doing this because and you know why? You know why? You so desperately want the Cardinals to have something better than the Braves. You want it so bad that you have to go to the lengths of saying,
here we go. The World Series is over. It is done. Ball game. That is it. Ball game. We win. Congratulations, Jackson. You just made yourself look like a moron on YouTube.
That happened 3 years ago.
Jackson, we're talking about Nolan Arenado versus Chipper Jones, and you just brought up the World Series.
He said the Braves
be done.
The Cardinals won't have
Jackson,
the
that's what you had to go to the leagues
3 years ago.
Arenado
2011.
Chipper Jones.
2011. You're still excited, and
you're
still excited. 2011.
Bro, the past 2 seasons, y'all have been eliminated by the Phillies. You still hold
on
to a World Series.
You
still hold on to a World Series.
What is your point? Jackson, what is your point?
Jackson, be embarrassed,
what is your point?
buddy. Be embarrassed.
You still hold on to a World Series that happened 3 years ago.
We're not even talking about Arenado and Chipper Jones anymore. You know why you're traveling away from?
Because you brought up something the
because you know you lost.
Because
you know you lost.
Only time will do tell.
Jackson, you know this argument
will be better than Chipper Jones.
Everything you know you lost, which is why you're bringing World Series into the conversation now.
Arenado will be better than Chipper Jones by the end of his career.
It's unrelated. Guys, after everything you've just heard from me, Chase, and Steven, I'm giving you the opportunity here on Sports Pack.
I'm pretty sure every
Sports Out of Pocket.
Sorry, shout out to Sports Pack. They're live Thursdays at 6. Anyways,
and Mondays.
I'm giving you the opportunity to say I'm sorry and to change your answer. Because if
Nolan Arenado will be better than Chipper Jones by the end of his career. And just to let you know, everybody in that chat are Braves fans.
Not everybody.
What's your point?
Not everybody. That's actually false.
It doesn't take bias. It takes baseball knowledge, and that's something I expect you to have, considering it's your favorite sport.
Nolan Arenado will be better by the end of his career.
The fact that you're even if you said the word might, I wouldn't be so angry. It's the fact that you're saying will.
Jackson, I have calmed down to a point to where even just thinking about it in general, there's just no way, dude. I'm genuinely I'm just gonna look to you eye in eye and telling you, I don't care if Nolan Arenado averages 16 or gets this RBIs or whatever. It's not gonna happen. Chipper Jones just has more accolades in his career. He won an MVP in 1999, only 4 years into his career. Nolan Arenado had great seasons. Just got beat out by Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis. But guess what? He's not even going to be the best player on his team. That's Goldschmidt. It's just not going to happen. Even William Contreras is going to have better offensive numbers than him probably by the end of the season.
Have we even tickled the playoff numbers compared to Nolan and Chipper Jones? Chipper Jones is just clutch. Hey, that's something that also
he has that clutch gene. And back in the 90s, he carried the Braves through those NLCSs.
Nolan Arenado played with nobody else in Colorado.
James Blythe, they had 90-win seasons, Jackson.
Nolan Arenado
played with the MVP in 2021 and Goldschmidt. They still didn't go anywhere.
Rockies. That's what I meant. But I'm saying he's had his
on a tear too.
He's had his opportunities.
Don't forget about how good Trevor Story used to be.
Chipper Jones had people around him.
So did Arenado. He played with the 2021 MVP, like Steven just said. What is your point?
Hey, listen, Chad.
And he still averaged over 35 homers.
But where did that get him? Nowhere.
Let's not mention that they also tried to bring in players for him, and it still didn't go anywhere for the Cardinals last year. They finished last. Dude, the Cardinals are not going to. In the next 5 years, the Cardinals are not even going to sniff a World Series.
Nope.
At least, listen. You want to keep on talking about the Braves?
He said the Braves won't.
The Braves are going to make the playoffs for the next 5 years because
we are the favorites to win the World Series this year. We're not going to sniff it.
You can keep on. You can keep on living in this fantasy Jackson land that you want to keep on living in.
You're not going to make a World Series.
In Jackson's land, the Eagles are the best franchise of all time. Arenado is going to be the best third baseman of all time. Also,
I will retract my statement.
The Celtics are the best NBA franchise of all time.
I will retract my statement. Y'all will make a World Series, just won't win it.
Jackson, hey, I can say.
Oh my gosh, we're going to make one, and the Cardinals are still going to be living in Cancun for the next 5 years?
Cardinals are going to make a World Series in the next 5 years.
Look up stuff. All right, we're running out of time for this show. I'm sorry, everybody just had to have their ears bleed for a second for Jackson's takes. We apologize for that.
That's insane.
We had to sell this on there.
Hey, shout out to Eric Hosmer, by the way. He retired.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this probably one of the most fired up Sports Out of Pockets I think we've ever been involved in. Make sure y'all are tuning into Sports Pack Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. Also, we're posting a YouTube short after this, so make sure you're going to tune into that. And with that being said, we will see you all next week.